Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hotep, peace and blessings be out there to all the family YouTubers. This is once again your host, Lambert C. Davenport from God is King's Movement, gmail.com. I'd like to talk about today is an interesting question. That is the question of spirituality and religion. But before I go to that, I have to actually play a little bit of music as I do this, because this is a boxing match between people of melanin color. So let's go. Alright. Number one, a lot of people do not believe in what they call spookism. A spookism, a creator that is beyond our comprehension. Something has to be wrong with you. Because even scientists, the greatest minds of all, will tell you that there is some supreme power out there and that they are seeking that power. But you know what? The greatest of all minds, whether it be spiritual, religiously, or scientists, will tell you that they would never, ever find this. They will already announce to you that is beyond our comprehension. And we have to just accept that. Because there are things in this life that animals can see that we would never ever see. So when we say that, well, you know what? Animals that see things we can't see, something's wrong with their eyesight. No. Because that is the Gaia, that is the unseen. Now we live in a world that we say to each other, and we try to basically disgrace our ancestors by saying, oh, our ancestors doesn't come from a higher source. And then we have people who dare to talk about the Alamines. Like, oh, there's got to be other life and stuff on other planets. But then at the same time, they said there's no such thing as this creator. And even if it was a such thing as this creator, I guess it'd be like Zacharias Sitchin would say. You know, we all are formed from aliens, right? Some E.T. and some E.T. or whatever names you want to call it, or from the Dogons. Even the Dogons say there's something mystical that we have some. Everywhere you go, have proof of this. Now, the problem is with people in modern times, they figure that they can figure this out. There's the battle. The battle against religion versus spirituality. And I can tell you, we live in times where spirituality is confused with religion. Religion. What is religion? Number one is to eradicate all religion. What is the difference between religion and spirituality? This is how I break it down. I said religion is imprisoning the will. You must get permission. You live in a state of what they call sin, okay? And because of that state, you need a person to free you, right? That doesn't say that in the real spiritual text. It says we are held accountable for our own actions. So in spirituality, what does it say? It says we have free will. You take ownership and responsibility for your actions. Free actions. Awareness. You don't have awareness here in religion. It's straight ego and pride stuff. Spirituality, you have awareness and you're proud. This are two different things. And if you learn anything about emotional frequencies and vibrations, you will understand that these are two different things, ego versus awareness. Awareness shifts down ego And a lot of us have egos. And at the time we trying to shoot down religion, we shoot down everything that these people are trying to make you disagree with. And you know what that is? It is the divine. The divine creator. That's what that is right now. It is the divine creator that they're trying to get us to shoot down. And I can tell y'all right now, do not get fooled with that. Do not get fooled. I can tell you that right off the bat. Do not get fooled by them telling you there's no such thing as the creator. Do not get fooled. And I'm gonna say that 100 times over. Let me ask y'all a simple question. The question is, can you see as far as a falcon can see? No. Right? I will ask you another question. Is there people in this planet that have what is called astral projections? They got astral project. Basically, what I'm saying is they can come out of their physical shell, that this whole shell that you see right now, this stuff that I'm having repulsive reactions with, that I think I'm touching, they could come out of this and walk the land and walk around, travel, near and far. Do you believe that can happen? Or these people were just smoking too much weed or something, whatever they was taking, wherever tribes they from? You believe that? Or you don't believe that? See, people don't understand something about what they call religion. What religion did was these people came and tried to control your free will, tried to control that which is called spirituality, that which is called ownership of self, that is which is called responsibility. And they took that responsibility and created it as another man's burden. Like you heard of the saying, white man's burden, black people are the white man's burden. Well, they made a religious figure, whether it be allegorical or physical, it could be both, at the same time. And they demolish what is called free will. You no longer have it. And I hear Dr.Ali Muhammad and Brother Plight and them talk about religion, and they have a point. But what they fail to realize is this: you're looking at it from a perspective of an entity that came in to create this confusion. Now, my God is King movement it's just a simple equation. It's none of this. It's just a simple equation. Because I'm going to tell y'all what some of y'all God really is. My God is simple. So simple that all you have to do is just like, yeah. It's just that simple. It's no battling. It's no fighting. My God is simple. Every religion, whether they are into pantheism or monotheism, can surely, without a doubt, admit this one thing. Now, I'm going to just use the English term. If y'all want me to, I could use another term. Well, let's, for argument's sake, let's use another term. But I'm going to write it in English so you can understand what the F I'm saying. And I love this. Nyame ye only human. Right? Nyame ye only. This is from Ghana. And this is a tribal, way before Christianity or anything like that. They had this, they have this sign. Right? What do it mean? Well, let's go back to it. Come on. It simply means this. We say this word. God is king. That's what that word simply means. And this is, by the way, these are simple. That's all it means. God is king. It's just that simple. This is not even religion. This is spirituality. This is spirituality. And once you realize that God is king, right? Once you realize that God is king, now, what do? Well, let's look at it this way. Nyame, right, created us as a part of the Creator. What does that mean? What does that mean? It is simple that we are a special entity of the Creator. Some people like to say we are the embodiment of the Creator, having a physical experience and a third dimensional, fourth dimensional, fifth dimension, whichever dimensions you want to go into, experience of knowing thyself. It's retracted in and out. Now, that's hearsay. Even though there might be some things that will show towards that. Now we can say, well, we were created out of something. So this is where you get this word from. Energy, evolution. Right? Evolution. Volution. See that word? Vo? And you got this word vo? Voltations. Voltations. What is that? Evoltations. What is that word? Then you got a word, evaluation. So what are you saying? Right? So people will say that we are evolution, that we are constantly evolving as spiritual beings. Right? But, in fact, when we think about it, right? Here's the something. If you had this one little thing, this was the nucleus, right? And you had, all of a sudden a ring appears around it. And it creates something. Right? And it creates something. One of those, this one little dot created this. What would you call that? Hydrogen. Right? Some people call this the monad and etc. Right? You would call that hydrogen. Now, what created hydrogen? This thing here. But what is that? People will say, well, that's quarks and etc. Right? This is all coming from the scientific world. Right? Now, we have to be very careful on our intelligence. I'll tell you why. Here we have is hydrogen. Now, what is the next thing of hydrogen? How do hydrogen become the next element called helium which they say have the same concept. Now you got the one, and out of the one came two, which equals to three. You understand what I'm saying? Out of the one, out of this one comes one, which equals 200 in here. That is one and the same. That equals three, but surely it's not. The illusion is it's always one. It's always one. But see, when we disrespect the Most High Supreme Being, when we disrespect the Creator as a melanin people and disrespect our ancestors and everything in there, we have really pushed the limit. And when I mean push the limit, we push that limit. Like I say, can you see further than a falcon? And if a falcon can speak and tell you, man, there's a mouse 10 miles away, or something of that equation, and you don't have no binoculars or anything of that can magnify and see that far, you would say to that falcon, what the hell are you talking about? You can see something. Or if you go underwater and try to see, it's something that could see far away, will tell you, man, there is something approaching us at a very high speed. You will say, I can't see a damn thing. Okay? So this is the form of the Creator. See, we need things to operate in this system. And we try to deny the very existence of something we can't understand. I'm going to tell y'all something. I know what it is. It has nothing to do with this. This is an entity, right? Some people say, well, believe there's God versus the devil, right? I love to write words backwards. I'm sorry. So the dog, right, versus lived, right? Because that's all backwards, right? I love to do that sometimes. So we're talking about a dog versus us lived, right? The dog versus the lived. Dog lives. Okay, who's the dog? Animals. That's your dog. Okay? Y'all know about animals, right? That's your doggone dog, right? But y'all talk about God versus the devil. In fact, there is no challenge. Why? Just read this verse right here. You can take this up any day. That right there is Isaiah 45:7. Read that and tell me, what does it say? Like I said, you can take a word like this, live, and then you can go like this. What is that? In quantum mechanics, that is called a parallel universe. Meaning that these two things can be at the same time. You can live evil, or evil lives. You don't understand that. You can live evil, or evil lives. Right? But here's the biggest thing of them all. Our biggest problem is with these things. We have envy. And we are jealous. And we have resentment. We have pride. We have fear. We have hate. You know why we have these? And these are just a few of the emotions. You know why we have this? Because we don't have this. We don't have power. That's why we have all of this. We say everything. And I know that Brother Plight, and Dr.Ali Muhammad, with respects to them and their knowledge and things like that, and their movement and what they're doing. Much respect. However, when you come up and talk about there is no creator and you're the God, and I like what they did say when they came together. I'm talking on 125th Street. They said that, or what we call 125, what they said was that we need to build. But here's the thing. And people always try to deny something they can't see. And that's why I brought up the falcon. The falcon can see things we can't see. Or the owl at night can see what we can't see at night. We all got night visions. We got all of this fun studying animals. But it wasn't us. It was one individual or several individuals as teams who work collaboratively together to create night vision, goggles, and so forth like that. But it can't even still see as better as an owl. Okay? Or better as a falcon, even though we got telescopes and all types of stuff and we can see beyond. Right? But it still can't see. It's naturally because those things are created. We're talking naturally, you can't see further or you can't hear further. So if an animal was to talk to you and say, "Yo, you hear that?" You'll look at the animal and say, you're having auditory hallucinations or something. You understand what I'm saying? We got to understand our five senses and our motor skills or how I can even say this to you. It's like babies in the dimension of what's going on. You understand? This is why when you can read the Quran and then talk about the Alamins or talk about the jinns or talk about different forces that we cannot see, that animals probably can see in this planet, that actually our government does know exists, okay? Especially the higher ups. They're the ones who took sides with a special being to tell us that what we know truly inside, like our eyes, when we look at things, if this was a tree, we originally look at this tree, or should I say this mushroom, let's say this was a mushroom, right? We originally look at this mushroom upside down. That's the original way we look at it from our eyes, upside down. So this world automatically, because it makes things come upside up, it's an illusion. I don't got to go further into this. Then what it does is that it creates a comeback, right? It bounced off. Okay, we could say it bounces off. Here's a connection to the brain or whatever, right? To this brain here. It bounces back off, and guess what you see? It comes like this. Boom. It comes upwards now. It originally started downward, and when it reflects back, it comes upward. So which one is it? Is it downwards or is it upwards? You understand what I'm saying? Y'all don't understand what I'm saying. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's spirituality. Spirituality can say to a kid, when the kid says, "Man, I see that thing is upside down, it's this way." And you're going to say, "No, it's not, it's this way." No, this is the reflected back, which makes you see things upwards. Like someone would say that Africa is downwards. See, this is the illusion. because there's people who want to remain on top. People who want their ego and their pride and everything else. And this is another thing. And I have to go there. This is another thing. Okay? Some people, when we talk, we have to have this. We have to have this. Wrong or right. Right? Somebody's got to be wrong, right? Somebody's got to be good, right? Or bad, right? Something's got to be hot or warm. Hot or cold, right? Something's got to be male or female, right? You understand what I'm saying? Something's got to be electro, and something's got to be magnetic. And when they come together, they make electromagnetic. They come together, they make a child. They come together. What is it? Warned, okay? Right and wrong, it comes together and it made the damn decision. You know what I'm saying? So, what's right and wrong? What is right and wrong? You can't tell, can you? No. You can tell by the actions that it creates. Like, for instance, if you talk about this, you're talking about build a community. Right? People talk about that, build a nation. Oh, build a nation. That's a lot of stuff, first of all. You're talking about build a community. Sometimes the system will allow such community, right? Until what? Till the community is too damn big in what the system wants. So the system destroys it, right? Not with the Creator, right? Not with the Creator. And this is the problem with people. You can't play pity back with the Most High. Either you believe in the Most High or you don't believe in the Most High. That's how it goes down. Because the fact of the matter is this. This is what people really want. That word right there. Money. But remember this. This is a flat currency that we're dealing with. Right? And this flat currency is what it calls intrinsical, worthless object. Right? So it's an intrinsical, worthless object. You can look that up. What we have now is FIAT, flat currency, that we call money. Now look at this. I'm gonna tell y'all what y'all into right now. A lot of y'all hiding behind the closet. Now I'm like that dog in the Wizard of Oz. I'm gonna pull that curtain on y'all wizards, okay? Because y'all wizards and semantics, okay? Talking about y'all don't believe in the Most High, in the Supreme Creator, when every belief system before you ever existed in this planet, believe in it, and got so much information and understanding that they created things to this very day that we cannot even create. We fathom, we go, oh, there must be some aliens that created it. I'm going to tell y'all what y'all do. Now about this right here. My one moon I. But here is the funny thing. This is what y'all about. My one eye. My one I. Yah one. My one. It's not your one. Who is this? I. Huh? I know what it is. The I is the incomplete pyramid with the so-called people want to think, and this is not even an Egyptian, by the way, y'all. The eye of Ra, the all-seeing eye, right? This is what y'all looking for. Now, I want y'all to understand something. This is an intrinsical, meaning is vital or value, but guess what? This my one eye, which we call the all-seeing eye, that's why it's on the dollar bill. It is mine. That's ego. That's what the dollars did to y'all. Y'all don't even understand this. Y'all don't even understand what's going on. When Shaitan said that he will make us go all types of way, he wasn't lying about that. Straight up. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna give y'all some real facts. Okay. Straight facts. Alright. When I walked into the Al-Azim of Islam, okay, the first thing that I learned, and I learned Islam in Saudi Arabia when I was in the Persian Gulf. The first one. The first thing I learned about Islam, and only, and all about, is this right here. The Quran. Right? Now, I heard Brother Plight and all of this talk bad about this. Because, you know, people talk bad about any of the Al-Kitabs. Right? Any of them. Everybody talks bad about it. In fact, there's a famous person who says that religion is the opium of the world. Who was it? So all the Kitabs people have problems with. You know why? Because they fell into this religion. That's why. Now, when I study Islam, which Islam is not a religion, Islam is called Al-Deen. What is a deen? A deen is a pathway. It's talking about a way to live life. Okay? It's not, I have nothing to do with this word. Pa. Religion is created by the division of people who wanted to be their own God. Period. And this is where we are not humble each other. Islam and everything else, Buddhism, Hinduism, Kemetic, if that is a thing, Judaism, all of that is really a al-deen, a way of life. It's not religion. Religions were created by people who figured that they had control. Now, when you think about it, everybody, because think about this, every religion that we know, right? And there's over 3,000 to 4,000 religions, by the way, in this world. I ain't say this earth, Notice I said this world because I talk about the flat earth. Not the flat earth. People say earth. That's the wrong definition. It's the flat world. Not the earth. The flat world that's on the bed. That is held in place by mountains and things like that to basically to stabilize when the planet tilts or when it moves. You understand what I'm saying? You have like pegs to help. That's what mountains are. And when you destroy mountains, okay, you destroy the equilibrium of the planet and the tilt. And this is why earthquakes is tilt the planet, and it also says that time goes faster because it also have to do with time as well. So with every earthquake, there's a disalignment, okay, that starts to disrupt and destroys the so-called pegs, or what we call mountains, to create stabilization on this planet. That's in the Quran. And then when you study geology or whatever science that we came out to and try to understand the nature of the planet that was before us, and we are making scientific guesstimations at the best, but at the same time we are trying to show something. That's why they say this world is nothing but play and amusement. That's why we have to be humble. And the reason why we can't come together is because we're not humble enough. And we're not humble enough because we follow a religion. We don't follow spirituality. We don't follow the spirit, as they say. We follow a religion. We're not spiritual. We are religious. You understand? There's a big difference. And here, you can feel that most high. You can see the falcons see. You can hear what animals hear. You can smell what sharks probably can smell in the water. This becomes the breaker of the illusion world. This is the keeper of the illusion. Big difference, y'all. That's why some people say you gotta break this. But you have to be careful in what you're talking about breaking this. Now I know mankind has written the books, but these books were inspired and came down after generations. Now, and our ancestors are not stupid. Okay? We forget that before something you call a book, right? We had two things. A mouth and damn eyes. And we recited and remembered high capacity. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I can tell y'all one thing about the deen that people try to denounce this. Islam has 114 swords. Right? Just like 114 chakras that nobody talks about. Oh, that's a great secret unless you become a priest and a prince or whatever that's the damn problem. That's where you get religion. Always trying to hide something from people who's trying to seek the truth. This is why in the Quran it talks about Prophet Muhammad, salam, it talks about him, right? It talks about him where he was so interested in trying to get a person that was in the caliber of where his family came from, instead of accepting this blind man. In the Quran, Allah don't play around. He has no favoritism. I'm going to let y'all know that, because in true essence, y'all don't even understand the spiritualness. The Creator doesn't really need us like that. Trust me. Don't get bamboozled. Don't get it twisted. You know, you should have some grace and mercy. You know, and if you don't, I could tell you like this. If I had a Snicker bar and I went into the wilderness and I met a tribe of people who never really had encounters with what we call civilization, okay? And I gave them the Snicker bar. They never had a Snicker bar in their life, you know? When they taste that Snicker bar, it's going to be a total different experience than whatever I could explain it to. But we that had Snicker bars would tell them, oh, it's got nuts, chocolate, this and that, and so do, boo, 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 boo. No, they won't have the same experience. But in Islam, 114 surahs, we have people who can recite not a verse, not a page, not a chapter, but the whole doggone Quran. What belief can do that out there? Word to word. That's what shows you that how Islam is powerful than what you thought. People talk a lot of crap. Allah is not a joke. And Allah's course has been in existence a long time. Muslim been in existence a long time. Of course so. And even in the Quran it says it came here to confirm what was of the past. So it didn't come here to erase anything. Like the Messiah said, the Messiah, according to the Bible, also came to confirm what was already. He didn't come here to change anything. And the funny thing about it, people go, oh yes he did, that's where we get Christianity from. You see what I'm saying? But Christianity didn't come from the Messiah. Think about that. Because the Messiah didn't come to change anything. Christianity is come from two people. Well, let's say Constantine, and let's say, for biblical, Saul, who nicknamed his name Paul. Now let me tell y'all something about this. Most people that do this in the world love to change their names. I tell y'all don't. Let me tell you something. Some of y'all are too smart for your britches. And the shoes you wear is too small for your feet. When you step into the ring of the unknown, you better humble yourself. Because you get trapped in something you can't see. You don't understand. I could put it like that. You think you understand, that's your arrogance, and that's your ego, and that's your pride. When you talk about the Most High, and you talk about the Messiahs, and you talk about all the people who struggle to make it better, they all read something of spiritual context that gave them the notion. And even if they didn't, because y'all got to understand something. If all the books in the world was the ink that needs to be written, if the oceans, all the oceans in the world, right, in this earth, in this world, right, was to write the words of Allah, it still wouldn't be enough ink. So one book doesn't fully grasp something that not only brings out form, but it's formless. Y'all understand that? Before you was formless. Do you understand it? And now you became formed, you try to explain something that is formless. Come on, y'all, Don't play no games. Like that brother said when brother Dr.Ali Muhammad and brother Plight and Imam Bashir was talking about, at the end they started to talk about building a government within a government, right? Building a government within a government that destroy all governments. Now, I don't know where y'all been at, but we all know of the New World Order, and that is to have one government, one currency, right, and one army, or whatever, and anybody that's outside that regime is then going a renegade and needs to be exterminated. Or maybe they allow it to be like they did in, what's that movie, Demolition Man. Or all these other movies they show, Running Man, and all of these other different types of movies where they show that people are put into like hubs or sectors and things like that. You know, don't get crazy that you go, oh well, you know, all we do is follow the protocol and we can have XYZ. Okay, fine, if that's what you believe. But believe it or not, it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or whichever high names you want to give him, now me, right, that instill this into the planet that makes it happen. I'm going to put it like that because we as melanin people supposed to be the most spiritual people on the planet. We are giving that spiritual up for this. You can't fight something that is formless with a form. Crazy. We're giving this up for this. This is the one. We call it Maya. A lot of people love to dance with Maya. Maya is one of the great dances. Or you want to dance with Set, you can. Or if you want to dance with Lucifer, you can. Because Lucifer is here to bring light to you, right? He's a light bearer. If you was in darkness, Lucifer let you see colors. Alright? Now, once you see colors, what do? You have distinction. Huh? But when you lived in darkness, everything was the same. You didn't even know what shapes were. So these things brought what was formless by the Most High's intelligence creates something called form. And when it creates something in form, you thought that this form is all there is. That created confusion. And you know what happens in confusion? Confusion is a negative fusion. You know what happens? You slip into the bliss. Now, I'm not saying that's hell. You just slip into something called bliss. Some people would call it a black hole. You just gobble up forever. They don't know what comes out of black hole. They just say the black hole just crushes you out of existence. So think about that. You know, some people try to come up with this, scientific stuff. You can't put science on the Creator. Let me tell y'all something that y'all might disagree with. But that's good to have disagreements. You know? But you're going to have to, if you talk about unity, you're going to have to come to a crossroad. Right? There's something called the Kabbalah. Right? The Kabbalah. The Kabbalah. Right? You know what the Kabbalah has? They have something called tyme. Right? Depending on which one you want to go with. Right? Ancestor. right? And Ein Sof Or, right? Then from there, they have something called Keter, right? Which they call the crown, which is the unity of God, right? And on left side, right side, you know, right side, left side, whatever. You got Shukma and Banah, okay? These here, really all of these, is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? This here, you could forget about ever thinking to know the Most High. Ever. Second, same thing. And I told somebody said to me, there's a brother, he has this book. Where's that? I gotta find this book. Where's this book up? Did I put this book up already? Did I put that book up already? Oh. No, I didn't. Okay. Everybody's familiar with this book, right? Wonderful Brother, right? A Wonderful Brother. So this book talks about the tree of life in Kemetics, ancient Egyptian. Now, he should say Kemet, right? But later for that. Ancient Egyptian metaphysical and cosmology of the higher consciousness. And he shows. And this, he shows the same tree, right? And everybody familiar with him. Shows the same tree, but try to show it in Kemetic. Because what it is everybody's trying to fight with their ego. Or where it came from. Okay? Alright, if so what? But it doesn't come from you. Like, that's arrogance. You gotta slow down with that because people don't know there's things that existed before Kemet. Hard for you to believe that. There were beings on this planet before we probably came on this planet. That's hard for y'all to believe that, though. You know? But see, as it's written, that we descended upon this planet. So we're another species. And we adapted also to this planet. Just like a lot of things. There are things now that wasn't in existence prior. There are things now that are in existence, and those things that became extinct is no longer here. Period. How is that? Well, some people say that's where Charles Darwin come in with evolution. But evolution, as I tell people, I believe in some, and I discredit some. I believe in the some that I understand to the fullest knowledge, and I know that there are others that try to break us down. You understand what I'm saying? So, when we understand something, you got something like this. Like, and this brother does this. Okay? And I'm going to get into the lady. Some people might know her. Alright, he talk about Sefet Bara, right? The 7 souls of Ra, right? 7 souls, like the 7 chakras, the 7 souls. Now, let me tell y'all something. I did this before. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Y'all can see that? Y'all can't see that 7. I'll write it up here. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right? Now, do that right here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Tell me what that equals. Does anybody know? What does that equal? Right? This is before I go into things. Now I'm going to tell you what that equals right away. So it's another form of math, by the way. So let me get that form of math for you. So, like, I don't want to do a math thing and then be all I mean, I could add it up, of course. So this equals 28, right? That equals 28. All of that equals 28. Now, 2 plus 8 equals what? 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. Right? Now, everybody says it does it again. Right? Now, some people say, well, there's 2 numbers missing. Aha, 8 and 9. Right? So, when you do 8 and then 9, what you have? Right? When you do 8 and 9 plus 8 plus 9 equals 45. Right? So now, all of that, 1 to 9 equals 45 when you add all this together. Right? But when you put something in there at the end, which we call 10, right? 10 powers, the 10 cephalas, and everything like that. When you add that up, that comes up to 55, which comes out back to 10, which comes back to what? 1 again. Okay? But when you add that up, so now you add these things up. 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. 6 and 7. 6 and 7. 7. When you add that up, let's go 14. That's 5, right? What is that right there? That goes 13. That's 4, right? This right here, that's 11. That goes 18, right? That's 9, right? This right here, this goes what? This goes what? That right there is 11. And this right here is another 11. So that's 22, which that is 4 again, right? What is this right here? This right here, this and this, that's right there, that's 10, right? This and this is 11, that's 21, that's 25, right? So now we got 7, right? This right here, if you got that, now if you notice something that is happening, right? You notice something that's happening is the numbers change. Just go from 1, right? 1 minus. They go from 5, right? This goes up to 4, right? And this goes up to 3, right? So you see there's a number sequential here. This is 5 and 5 is 10, and 10 and 10 is 20, that's 27, right? Do y'all see that, right? Now, here's where something gets interesting. Okay, and the reason why I'm doing this math thing is to what? To show people something. So you got 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7, right? Equals 28, right? We did that already. That's the very top. 28, which come back to the 1, right? Now, when you do 2, the next one, you go 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7, right? Equals 27, right? Then you go, remember, we could do 9. We could do 9. All right, but we're going to start with 7 because this is where it says the Creator so-called rested, right? This is a form of science because we're talking about the 7 souls of Ra. Okay? Now, when we add all of them up, because they add up to everything, right? So 6 plus 7 equals 13. Okay. So now, let's add up all of these numbers. 28, 27, 7. What we're doing is adding up 4. What we're doing is adding up all of the numbers that come up to those numbers. 4, right? And 5. And you know what we have? The 7 souls of Ra, when we add it up, is an interesting number. That is 84. When you turn 84 over, you get 48 lobes. When you turn this over, 8 and 4, you get 12, right? And 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, right? And there you go. You see the Ain Sufi, and the Ain Sufi circle. Right? That's the 1, that's the 2, that's the 3. But guess what? Like I told you, and I showed you earlier, 1 plus 1 equals 1. Or 1 plus 1 equals 2, or 1 plus 1 equals 3. It all depends on what math you want to talk about. Do you want to talk about the expressions of the hidden one, which equals 3? Now, everything starts to be this. So this turns up to 84, which is interesting. Because when you do something like that, you go 84, right? Let's go. 84 times 7 equals what? 588. So what is that? 588. When you times this by all these 7s, it comes up to 588, which comes out to 21, which comes out to 3. This is the mother, the father, and the child. I'm going to say the son, because sometimes that is so biased, but it can be that way. So you see the 7, and you see the 7 sons of Ra, and then you understand the 7 days that the Creator created the heavens and the earth. And it says he rested, but it's not rested like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Nah. It's just, it rested on the 7th. Because what happens is this. Hydrogen could go hydrogen, 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 hydrogen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And hydrogen 7. And what happens? On the 8th or on the 6th, this hydrogen is actually transforming here on the 6th. When it goes into the 7 and it goes into what is called the 8 and 9 that you don't see, it becomes helium. I don't even got to explain to you how it becomes that. Because here is something that people don't want to know. And I'm going to just break this down real easy. Everybody heard of this word. Right? Embryology, right? Okay, in embryology, right? You have a degree. Just put them down there like that. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, and now we're going to put something right here called gender. Okay? We're going to put that there called gender. Anybody know what 1 is? When you study embryology, 1 is something called androgynous. It has no gender. It's androgynous. It has no sex whatsoever. Then something unique happens. Then it becomes feminine. Right? And then, at the end, it becomes masculine. Ask men why they got nipples, and they wouldn't even know why. Because the nipples is a signal and a symbol of the feminine principle. It is that to respect and remember the feminine principle. Like as androgynous, meaning Adam Kundum was androgynous. The first thing that came out of the androgynous being was the feminine entity. And then from that became the masculine principle. So, in this world, there was this creator that we worship. Then the next one became the matriarch. And then the last one became the patriarch. Talk to me. Talk to me. Don't play with me, y'all. This is Lambert C. Davenport calling off from God is King's movement. If you want to get with me and get up with me, and we can study and learn together and get the hell out of these cities, because I'm going to tell you something about to go down. And be prepared and ready and learn how to do things. Just write to me. That's all I got to say. Write to a brother. Don't be scared. Because we need to come together. That's Gmail. You know that my thing is God is King movement. That's MVNT for movement. Alright? Just get up with me. That's all I gotta say. And like I told y'all, be careful with that money, alright? Because it's not my one. Remember, there is only one, alright? And there's nothing unto the one. Hindus talk that. Let me find that where the Hindus for y'all non-believers, and I could, you know, I can kind of write that down, you know, if you want me to. See, they say Hindus believe there is one true God, the Supreme Spirit. And they call this Supreme Spirit, they call the Supreme Spirit this. Brahma. Okay? That's what Hindus call this Supreme Spirit, called Brahma. Brahma has many forms, prevails the whole universe, is symbolized by the scarlet symbol or And I know that the Kemetic people is going crazy. Right? This is Hindu, by the way. Right? Hindus believe in one God. But what happened to them? Did they get kind of mixed up, or do we not understand? Now, you know, they go, the belief in one God, they call Brahma the highest supreme and universal God in Hinduism, also known as this. Purusha. Okay? So, you know, I can tell people that when you look at Hindu, the problem with us, and we have a thing in the Bhagavad Gita, it says, those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires, surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worshiping according to their own natures. People, it states that, the Gita states that people who are materialistic worship demigods, gods besides the true God. Now these people ain't into statues, because I'm going to tell y'all, and I'll tell y'all time and over again, pantheism is not about worshiping all these deities. People that are not a nobility, or that's not into the secrets, they got stuck on believing in all these different gods. But they're not talking about this. This God has these many forms. Right? I could talk about Brahma and then talk about Nyame. Right? I could do that. Right? Why? Or I could talk about Allah, or I could talk about so-called Yahweh, right? Or any of these, whatever attributes you want to consider or names you want to call, right? The evoker. Who's the evoker? That's God. The evoker. You evoke. Right? It's still going to mean the same thing. So when I'm dealing with people and they don't understand something, right? They don't understand this. Like, for instance, if I wrote this, right? Become Ibadah, right? If I wrote this word, and I want to make sure I spell it right, because you spell the names wrong, you say something else. If I wrote this, this means he is one only, without second. What? This is Hindu? This is the Hindu that we see? Let me tell y'all something. This is why God is King movement is right and in point in its act. We're not trying to separate the belief system of the Most High anymore. We are bringing all the schools of thoughts back to the oneness. And that is, you could say Nyame, or you could say Brahma, right? It's King. That's it. It's King. Nyame Ye Om. You can say all of this is King. Supreme Creator. Ika is the Ivaditi and Yami. Yama. Means he is one only without second. Don't play with me, y'all. Because like I said, some of y'all into the physicalness of the world. Like Dr. Phil said, and I'm just an infant in this, and I will always be an infant no matter how much I know, because I take my seat to the Most High, the Supreme Creator. I bow down to humbly, without no arrogance or anything like that, humbly. And that's what you need to do. Y'all need to bow down and realize in this world, there's only one Creator. There's nothing next to this Creator. Nothing. No thing is right next to this. This is the one and only. This is the Brahma. Or this is the Nyame. Or this is Allah. And this is what the Quran teaches. Call the Creator by the most beautiful names you want throughout your different cultures. It's okay with me. See, the Creator is not the one who created this division. We did. But not we. I start to understand that there was a division. And some of the things we have to understand, yes, it is allegorical. Okay? And the reason why it's allegorical is because how our ancestors learned and how we learn to this very day. It is easier to learn by studies. You know what they call it? Monopony. Like, you'll say a word like this. Oh, let me not write this word with the creator there. I ain't about that. You know, I'll make my mistakes and I hold responsible. But we say things like this. We call it something. We call that, what we call these? Kiss. What we call that? Acronym, or we call that a certain name. I forgot the name of it. Keep it simple, stupid. That's all the Creator wants us to do, is keep it simple, stupid. We're the ones that make things complex. And the more we try to find His Creator, the more complex the Creator gets. And this is why the Creator created something that talked about how the Creator says to the prophet, tell them to make a sacrifice, right? The Creator, first of all, the Creator don't even care about blood and flesh and all that, right? The Creator, as they say, the Creator challenges us. To challenge us to see, are we loyal? See, every day we go to school to what? To challenge ourselves to do what? I obtained it, I made it. Oh, I teach you, I know that answer, right? So the Creator is not going to give you the land of milk and honey per se without you being challenged. Okay? Even though the Creator created you and you're like, well, if the Creator created us, like somebody said to me, right? Somebody said to me, if the Creator created everything, right? So how did Lucifer came into being? And I just tell people just like this. If you want that answer, just read that. Right there. Right? Now, if the Creator created this word called evil, right? Because the Creator is all omnipotent, all good, right? Right? You notice that the Creator says, call no one good but me, right? So the Creator created something we call the tree of good and bad. You know what that tree is? They call that the Calippo. Because that tree is not the tree of life. That's the Calippo. So the Creator created the Calippo. But why would the Creator create the Calippo? Because the Creator is checking us. Where do we believe? Notice something. If you ever read the Quran, the angels, that's what we use in English, right? The angels question the Creator on why He would create us. And the Creator tells them, if you, okay, you challenge me. The Creator's up to challenge. You challenge, okay, all right. If you say that, why would I create human beings to create bloodshed and chaos on this planet Earth? First of all, I'm not creating no, well, I was in the military, so I can't say I didn't create no bloodshed. But I was a medic, so I was about healing. But if you shoot at me and you're trying to kill me, I gotta neutralize you. Okay? I call it neutralize. I ain't killing nobody. You shoot at me, I gotta neutralize you. Okay? If that means you journey to the next world, that means you journey to the next world because you try to make me journey to the next world. So I'm gonna neutralize you. You understand? So I neutralize your energy from hurting anybody else. I ain't really come there to really shoot you. I just came there because why? You were forced to come there. You were there. You know what I'm saying? Now you're there. It's like you in the game, right? You in the game and your game meets another game and y'all had this egotistical thing about games and none of y'all started like that. Y'all started to protect your neighborhood or y'all started as a club And, because y'all couldn't get into the white institutions or white people, y'all was tired of them messing with y'all, so y'all created these so-called gangs. Be like, anytime a white person come in our neighborhood, we gonna whoop their damn ass. Right? We ain't getting down for that. We ain't getting beat down like that no more. So y'all form gangs. So like the Creator, He's got the angels, right? So the Creator created other beings, other entities before us, called Alamins. They call it Alamins in the Quran. It could be anything, everything. Like me, I got this symbol that comes from the Dogon tribe, right? How am I gonna have this symbol and I'm a Muslim and I got attacked? They said, oh my God, astaghfirullah, you ain't supposed to have none of that. I'm about to get the Navy Yang on this side. You feel what I'm saying? That God is king on this side because I love God. I love the Creator with all my heart, mind, and soul, and body, and everything. And I know I ain't right, but I love it because I'm learning. I'm learning life because it's experiences. And we all go through that. We all go through the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs. And we learn from that. And we grow from that. And we develop from that. But don't let no one fool you that there is not a Creator out here. And Brother Plight and Dr.Ali Muhammad, I don't know if Dr.Ali Muhammad trying not, I know he should, because he reads the Quran well enough, going to say that the supreme being is a doggone man. So basically what you're saying is that spirituality, I'm not even talking religion, spirituality is a fantasy made up by human beings. Just like I said, there are things that other animals can see, we can't see. Things that other things can smell, we can't smell. Things that other things can taste, they just go like that, and they taste it. Things that other animals can hear, we can't hear. So our five senses is like an infant baby compared on this doggone universe. So hold your doggone ego in check. All of y'all. I don't care who y'all are. Y'all better hold that in check when y'all talk about the Most High, the Creator, the cream of the crop. You're talking about the King of all. You better hold your ego in check. I'm telling y'all right now because I'm gonna tell y'all what's gonna happen to you. I'm gonna let you know this right now. What's gonna happen to you? You want to know what's gonna happen to you? The Creator's gonna take care of you, one way or another. Either the Creator could send someone to rectify your arrogant self, like the so-called white man or the so-called shaitan and stuff. Satan already tells you like this. If he's an Alameen, he already tells you that Satan hates us. Like on some real stuff. I would never, ever serve. When you mean serve, bow down, you mean serve, help a doggone person made out of puted black clated mud. That's racism. It's okay to be a racist. Like you could say, yo, I'm a jinn, and I only get down with jinns. It's okay. I'm from planet Palladius or whatever, and I only deal with Palladian people. It's okay with me. That's a racist. You know, like an eagle. The eagle only gets down with an eagle. It's a racist. A rose only pollinates another rose. A honeybee only deals with a honeybee. A chimpanzee only deals with a chimpanzee. A tiger only deals with a tiger. He don't deal with a lion. He don't deal with a black panther. He don't deal with a cougar. He don't deal with a jaguar. And you could keep on naming damn things. He don't deal with that. He only deals with what? Of his kind. And that's what mankind means. You know, and the Creator is not trying to tell us, oh, well, you know, you can't do certain things. But he tells you there's a reason and a purpose for that. There's something called bloodline. And once you mix up blood, you mix up DNA, you destroy the ancestors that you once had. And that causes confusion. And some people do that deliberately because they understand the psychology, the philosophy the science and everything of DNA. And somebody look at that and they be wondering why some of those old inscriptions that you see with the within Kemet, that you see them holding up like a child and you see the rays coming down and things like that. All of that, that's talking about DNA. That's talking about life change and variations and things like that. And all types of different stuff. You know, I don't have to go all into it. I can leave that to people who love to be in Kemetic science. I could get that to y'all. Or Kemetic spirituality, should I say. I could get that to y'all. That's okay. But don't step in the ring talking about Kemet spirituality is the only spirituality on this planet, because you're dead wrong. You're dead wrong. And when something else comes to confirm something else, it didn't come to abolish it. It just came to confirm it, to make whatever it is stronger, where we have created imperfections in, and where we have created divisions in. Because there's all types of different Kemetic spiritual groups out there that all have a different philosophy, have different ways, have different names, and all types of stuff. It's like when you go Islam, it's different. There's Sunni, Shiite, Sufis, Ahmadiyite, all types of different people. When you go into Catholics, there's all types of different Catholics, Christians, and all types of different Protestants, this and that. All types, Hindus, all types of different Hindus, Buddhism, all types of different Buddhists, Zoroastrians, all types of different Zoroastrians. The way of life, or whatever in Korea, there's all types of different beliefs. No matter where you go, it's like, was one belief, and then there's like, out of that one belief, once that prophet was gone, broke up into two major sects, and out of these two major sects came what I call either binary, or what's the other mathematics equation? Either that one, it's 1 + 1 is 3, or 1 + 1 is 2, and it just boom, 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 goes like that. That's why they broke that. That's why it's like over 3,000 to 4,000 different religions. And every religion out there has been divided because of what? Our mind trying to complicate something that was simple. As I said, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Because that's what we are when we try to look up to the Creator. Or you're a fool. Peace. Shalom. Hotep. And assalamu alaikum to all those people who are watching this YouTube channel. And I know I took 1:30 on this, but I have to break this down. Don't you ever, ever disrespect the Most High, because you will see at the end. That's all I got to say.